Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Soraya. So today I'm going to be showing you how I take a painting that I've already finished. It's all done, and then I decide that maybe I can improve upon it, and that's what I did with this one. I took my sponge and a couple of brushes and I go over it and change it up. So I hope you like the after. Let me know. So here's the painting. I really do love this bottom part here, but the top I think I can improve upon. I was trying to be very creative here, and I think there's some nice parts about it. I really love the way it ended up looking, but now I think I can do better. So I'm just gonna change it, why not? So as I start with my sponge, I really basically have two colors on there, and I will show you all the colors that I use later on in the video. I'll show you exactly what I did use. And I'm just covering up what's already there and trying to get kind of a new base going. If you haven't already, please subscribe and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Just using a very, very light touch and barely touching the canvas here, just to cover certain areas here. Just a little bit of paint, just a very light touch. I'd be interested to know if you have tried my sponge technique, or if you're new and you're just starting out, or if you're just seeing my videos, if you're going to try it. Leave me a comment. I know some people say that I really shouldn't, paint over, but I do it all the time. Paint over old paintings, that the work evolves, and yeah, I get that. I just... When I see something that I know I can do better, I've just figured, why not? Like, I can do that. So I just go ahead and do it. So hopefully it comes out better than what it was before. And usually I am very happy with it. You keep learning and changing, and you want it to reflect in your artwork. Okay, I think that looks good. I like that kind of dark area in there. I've got some Payne's gray and some light blue. I'm just going to cover that up. It's an interesting idea, kind of making it abstract, but I might have to go over this a couple of times. And then I'm going to have to deal with these kind of drips coming down here, but I think I can figure it out. The other thing is you probably would have to, let things dry a little bit so that it gives it a chance to really dry up really well before you keep going. So I'm just gonna do what I can here, and then I'll come back to it. The purple I'm using is Ultramarine Violet by Amsterdam. I really love the drama of this. Oops. I really love the drama of this. Okay, I'm not taking my own advice and letting it dry, so I have to back off, back up and let it dry a little bit. Since I'm letting that dry, I'm just going to try and get rid of some of these lines. I've got light blue and the ultramarine violet here. I do want it to stay nice and light and soft. Again, I'm gonna have to let this dry off a little bit before I continue. And then I'll work in here. So far I've only used this one sponge. I haven't changed it up. I think it's dried enough. Again, I'm just going very lightly. When you're painting over an existing painting, I do find that you have to use a very light touch with your sponge when you first begin, and you do have to go over and over certain areas. I love working with acrylic paint because it does dry so fast. You're not having to wait around a long time. You just work on another area of the painting and things move along pretty quickly. I guess I'm an impatient person. I try not to be, but it is one of the benefits of painting with acrylic. Slowly you'll see that this area will be rid of those lines. You won't see them. It's going to keep going over them. So I have Payne's Gray and Titanium White here, and I'm going to go over this area here and just see if I can blend it in here. I haven't added anything to the sponge. It's just the paint, no additives, no water, nothing, just the paint on a dry sponge. So this is kind of how it's looking right now. A lot better, I think. More calm in the sky, even though it's kind of got a lot going on. This is just the leftover white that was there before. I haven't added any more, so I'm basically doing a dry brush, but with a sponge. And trying to get this dark area to look like it's supposed to be there, not just a big blob of dark blue. Very, very light touch. Again, no additives, no water, nothing. I haven't added anything. It's amazing how much paint the sponge retains, because it's just, I really have not added anything. And I'll show you my palette, how much I've used. It's really not a lot. It does really somehow keep it in the fibers there, or in the sponge itself. So, because I haven't added any more paint. Now there is a lot of the light blue along here, so I'm going to add some of it in here as well, but just again, very light touch, just so that it makes sense. I'm not pressing really hard, very, very gently. But you see already, it makes sense. And I think I'm going to add maybe some turquoise green, because this part here has a little bit of it. I decided I didn't like having this kind of outline of a cloud. I'm just going to go over it. These are just the colors that were already there before. Very light touch. There you go. So that there's just a suggestion. You don't see that kind of billowy effect of the cloud here. Nice. Not liking this area, so I'm going back in with the Payne's Gray and the Titanium White. I'm not sure if I want to leave that, but it looks interesting. Just this part here, I don't know. I have to think about it. I'm gonna stand back and take a look. The Payne's Gray, because of the white, has it's not as strong. It's mixed quite a bit. I decided to put a bit of the light blue with the Payne's Gray. That's better. I just flipped it over, and I don't know if I'm gonna do this. I might put it back later, but right now I'm gonna take it out. I'm flipped it again. I'm just flipping over the sponge over and over. You'll see the details that it creates just by that leftover paint. Just adding a little bit of white and going over here just to give it a little bit more dimension. I think I like that better. It's more subtle. I'll show you up close. The more I look at it, it's very subtle here, but it's very flat at the same time. So I'm going to be doing something to change that up here. I added a little bit of that ultramarine violet and Payne's Gray and white. By layering this way, it adds a lot more dimension and detail to your paintings. You can see the different or various colors through all of this. When you get up close to the painting, there is a lot of detail, and that's what I want. I want to make it really interesting so it draws the viewer in. As you can see, I'm also changing direction. With the sponge, I'll do one way and then the other way, up and down, so that it softens and blends all at the same time. I'm never really afraid to make changes because it really is just acrylic paint, and I have my paper towel ready standing by just in case I really don't like it. Again, I haven't added any more paint to it. It's just what I've been using on the sponge. I like that. A little bit more interesting than what it was before, I think. This area was a bit too flat. This way, now you can see all of the colors that are here. When you get up close, you can really see them. That's beautiful. Now, even though I like this, I think I'm going to tone it down because I want the focus. Oh, I guess I finally need some paint. Just 1 second. So, as I was saying, I just added a little bit more paint, and I like it. And I'm gonna add a little bit of light blue as well, because I don't want it to be super white. That's what's bothering me about it, not that the cloud itself. The cloud I think is rather nice. I just want it to be a little less noticeable. I'm just gonna do that. Oh, that's too bad. Maybe I should have left it. It kind of looks nice though. I don't know. I'm gonna continue. I'm just using the Payne's Gray on its own. I think this is one of the cases where I'm gonna have to let it dry a little bit, and then I'll come back and lighten it up just a little bit, maybe with a light blue. Same with this section here. I'm just gonna go in and tone this all down. As I'm turning it around like this, it's basically, I'm basically mixing the colors right on the canvas. I think this is dried enough for me to get in there. And then go back on the other side with the sponge. Now, for the sake of time, I do cut out some times where I am just kind of going over and over certain areas. It'd be just way too boring for you to watch me do that. But you could see the progression, and that's what I'm interested in showing you so that you could do this yourself. Sometimes faces kind of show up. I see these as an eye and kind of a nose and a mouth. And I don't want that, so I'm just going to use the paint that was already there and go over that and get rid of that eye. And I don't like this part here either, being dark. Now, this sponge technique may be new to some of you, but I've been doing this a very long time. So if you get discouraged, don't. It does take time to master something new, but it is a really fascinating way to create clouds quickly. Going back to this dark area and really covering it up, but light touch. When I get standing back, I can see a definite line here, and I want it to blend better together. So just getting a little bit of the white, the titanium white, and a tiny bit of water, and kind of making that line go away. I'm gonna work to make it go away. Already that's a lot better. So I do sell my paintings, and if you're interested at all, just look under my description area. Under the title, look at more, click on that, and there'll be a whole area of information there for you to get in touch with me. Okay, I'm glad I took the time to smooth that area out and blend it all together so it looks cohesive and more pleasing to the eye. I love this line here that looks like there's a wave kind of about to crash, but it's kind of also just peeking there, which I don't mind, but I'm gonna try. I've got a damp paper towel ready just in case I don't like it. And see what it looks like here. There. Okay, I like it. Can you see the difference there? That line over just a little bit more. Scary when these kinds of things are beautiful to me, or and you want to change them up, it's like, uh-oh, is this gonna work? But unless you try it, you never know. So having the paper towel on hand gives a little bit more confidence that you can do it. And you know, it can easily be wiped off. That's a great thing about acrylic paints. If you get it right away, you can just kind of erase it. Okay, I think that looks good. I'll get you up close again. Still not really happy with this area, so I'm gonna try maybe making it a little bit bigger or a little bit different. I don't know. Let's just see. I've got my paper towel, damp paper towel, and I just put a little bit, I can't emphasize that enough, of water. So I make sure to really get the painting exactly the way I want it to look, put a lot of detail, time into it, and that's because I do sell my paintings. I want them to be very professional looking and something that someone would really want to buy. So the video suggests that it's only 28 minutes, but it took me a lot longer than that. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm going to be showing you the colors that I used coming up. Okay, so here are the colors that I used. Liquitex Titanium White, Artist's Loft Light Blue, Pebeo Studio, Payne's Gray, and Amsterdam Ultramarine Violet. Where is it? Right here. Ultramarine Violet. And that's it. Okay, I'm thinking that down here I'm going to add a little bit more kind of waves or something. And I've got my 1-inch brush here. Just simple little brush that I got from Home Depot. Just to add some more interest. I find that the looser I am when I'm painting with my brushes, the better the results. So keep that in mind. Don't try to be too precise with everything when you're painting. It just is better when it's looser. Be relaxed. Enjoy the process. I have some turquoise green other places, and I think I'm going to add some over here. I added a teeny weeny little bit of water because you see it's there, but you don't see it as strong as when I first put it on. And that's what I'm trying to do. I don't want it to be too strong. I often use the Liquitex Matte Medium. And I moved and I don't have it anymore, so I do have to get some more. That really helps to, when you mix, it helps to make the paint translucent. So when you mix a bit of paint, regular out of the tube paint, acrylic paint, with a bit of the Liquitex Matte Medium, you can add it on top of other colors. You can see the other color underneath, and oftentimes it creates a new color, which is really, really interesting. That looks really good, I think, because you can see that there's other green other places, the turquoise green. After looking at this for some time, I don't like this kind of long area of this kind of orangey color, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I don't want it. Just gonna do that, and then perhaps go over again with some white on top of that after. Oh, I know I have this kind of long blue swath of color now, but that'll change. It'll make it better. Just trying to tone down some of this orangey color and finding it's overwhelming to the overall effect. And I'm going to go back in with a bit of white here. Already I'm liking that better. So you can still see the orangey color underneath and underneath that blue, but it's not as strong, which is good. Now I'm going to go back in with my brush and just add a little bit of white over all of this. I used to be of the mindset that once I've painted something, that's it. That's the way it is. It's kind of almost like set in stone. But no, that is not true. You can keep changing it up, change up your painting until you're happy with it. And once I kind of relaxed with that unwritten rule of mine, I was a lot happier and my paintings were a lot better. I'm just pressing down and using the side of the brush. I'm still struggling with this area. I'm finding it a bit odd in comparison to what's happening. So I'm going to try something like this. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to try it. Just kind of let it drag. I hope I've answered a lot of your questions. If I haven't, please make sure to leave me a comment. I will try to make sure to answer any questions you may have that I haven't answered in this video. The last color I used was Amsterdam Turquoise Green. So here it is all done. I am very, very happy with the results. I'm glad I redid this painting. I will leave a before and after picture so you can compare and let me know what you think. But I am happy with the results. I have gotten some flack in the past for doing it, but that's okay. I go ahead and do what I think is best. Now here's some of the details. It did take me a long time and I took my time, but I think it was very, very well worth it. I've got up close images coming up, and click on the link you see now to see more of my sponge paintings. So here is the before, still pretty cool, a little bit abstract, but here is the after, and I'm glad I did change it.